From the hollers and hills of West Virginia, it's Heavenly Hills Homestead with another episode. Stay tuned. Well, guys, it's a beautiful, beautiful day out here. Would you look at that? Look at all that. Ooh, I'm gonna fall over twisting around here. That is crazy, ain't it? All those little streaks in the sky there. Beautiful morning, beautiful day. What does it say? Today, a beautiful day that the Lord has made. I'm going to rejoice and be glad in it. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful late summer day. That beautiful, cool, crisp breeze blowing on us. It feels great, you know. I do enjoy this time of year. I hate the fact that, you know, the growing season ends. But I do enjoy it. I like the weather. I like the colors, the freshness of the air, all of that. It just, you know, something about fall just, it really heightens my senses kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh man, this is so great. You know, it's just a lot of good things in the fall. So it just sucks that we have to go straight in the winter and have the snow and the cold for what seems to be months on end. You know what I mean? And then, you know, finally, you know, in April or May, we're able to get back to growing. You know, it just seems such a long time. But anyhow, I got all my pumpkins up there. So got them. And I got my one in the back of the truck. Gotta figure out how to get that out of there today. And I might go, me and Jaden might go sneak off and go hunting this evening and see if we can't kill us a deer. So we'll see. Anyhow, we're gonna try to think on how to get that out of the back of the truck. I've done made a couple phone calls. Just waiting on them to call me back, see if we can't get something over here, a loader or something, and get it out. And if not, I'll heave-ho it out of there, I guess. Just drop it on the ground. So, I was gonna blow it up with tannerite, but I would have to have it somewhere over here in the field. I would have to have, you know, some way to get it out of the back of the truck into that field, and then blow it up would be no problem, you know, and just let the cows or goats or whatever wants to eat it. But I gotta have a field to get it off in, and you know, a willing participant. And so I was going to do it in the yard, but I think there's going to be a couple of people here that would end up giving me a fit over it, so I can't do it in the yard. Yeah, or I would. I'd do it right down there in the bottom of the yard and blow it sky high. So anyhow, it ain't off the table completely yet. I'm still trying to figure that out, but All right, guys, well, let me figure out what we're going to do today. Hey, guys, so for weeks, months, I've been trying to figure out if this is a bean. This is the snail vine. If this is a bean, where are the beans that I planted for seed in the ground? Where are they located at? I mean, you know, it's supposed to be beans, right? Where are they at? So, I mean, watch out, Jay. You can see how big the vine has gotten. All of that. It's really right in there real good, and then all down through here. I mean, it's a lot of vine, right? And it does really good. Look how big the stems are on here, down here on the bases. They've done really well, and stuff. But, you know, I kept thinking, well, you know, can't find any information online for them. For like, I can find the seeds, I can find germinating stuff, but I can't find harvesting information. And it's like, why is there no harvesting information? You know, so I'm thinking, well, maybe these little beans here, maybe the beans inside of there, and if you let it go to flower, you know, then there's no beans. So I tear these open, these little pods, there's nothing in it. You know, so then I go to the next step. Well, maybe it's this size, you know, maybe there's something in there. No. Go to that size. No. Now I want y'all to look. So what do beans grow in? They grow in a pod, right? So I start looking around and I see there's a pod, and there's a pod, and here's a pod, and there's a pod, and look inside of the pod. Can y'all see inside the pods? The little beans inside there. Let me see if I can get it this way a little better. Y'all see the little beans inside the pods? There's little tiny beans inside of there, and those will go up to be the seed for the next year's harvest. So they do produce a pod. The pod is inside of the flower, and when the flower turns yellow and rots away, it's left with that little bell on the end and the pod coming out. And it literally spirals inside of the flower until it's completely dry. Look here, here's one that's dried out all the way. You ready? Here we go. Pull it off, see? Da-da-da-da, there it is. All right, so that's how snail vines are grown. Pretty neat, right? So now we know how to grow the snail vine. Now we know how to germinate the snail vine. Now we know how to harvest the snail vine. Thomas Jefferson said it is the most beautiful bean he had ever seen, and I tend to agree. We'll try to eat maybe one or two just to see what they taste like, but they're growing so slow, and they're just, I mean, they are a very slow growing plant, bean, whatever you want to call it. It's very, very slow. It's very, very meticulous. You got to be very careful with them. They take a very long time to germinate. They're hard to germinate, but they smell wonderful, and they produce a lot. I mean, you can see, you know, they're producing well. So, but they're just not as fast as what we think of a bean, like Kentucky Wonder, Greasy Grit, you know, the purple tea peas, you know, the what are they called? Cherokee purples or something like that, and all the other ones, you know, that there's out there, millions, and the Blue Lakes, you know, the Blue Lakes 247s and all those. I mean, there's just so many beans out there. They don't produce like those, but they definitely produce a lot. They're just more of a flowering bean, like literally flowering bean, you know. It's just weird. And that bean is literally, the pod is growing from there all the way through that curly Q stage up until it's like this right here. And then, you know, in a couple of days or whatever, right out the end will come a pod, and it'll be ready to harvest just like these. So you can see this one here is getting close. Here's one that's done. See, it's brown. Right here, it's done. Grab it, pull it off there. It's done. See the pod? See it right there? It's a teeny tiny pod in there. So, pretty neat. All right, guys. So last year, y'all might remember. Some of you might. I don't know. Those of you who have followed me from Facebook over here to YouTube will remember last year I was trying to grow the infamous, what is this thing called? I don't want to look at the tag. Black pearl. There we go. The black pearl pepper plant. It's an ornamental pepper plant. Well, here she is. And I found her for $9.99. You can eat these peppers, okay? You can eat them, but it's more like ornamental. Look at them beautiful purple flowers on them things. Ain't that cool? So it produces a really nice pepper. It's about 10,000 on the Scoville scale is where it's at. So it's hotter than a jalapeno. Little round peppers. You can see it's loaded down with peppers. See all the peppers on it already? Loaded down. I mean, everywhere. There's peppers everywhere on this thing. Seems like here's a good one right there. Good size ones. Okay. So we're loaded with peppers. We're going to have to transplant it though because it's too small in a pot and it's probably going to get root bound. And let me see here. You see some of the roots coming through there. So we'll take it out of this and put it in a bigger one and get some dirt for it and stuff. But I thought, man, $10 for that, and then I can get the seeds out of it and use them for next year as well. You know, and hopefully they do better than the last time I tried to grow these things. So anyhow, we finally got a black pearl. We bought it, $10. It's a nice looking, healthy plant. Nice little pot with it. $10 was a good deal. So anyhow, I'm pleased with it. I'm gonna get it potted up, hopefully this week, into a bigger pot, and then grow it in the wintertime in the house. And then next year, I'll get some seeds off of it this winter, and then I'll have some plants to plant out here in the flower beds next spring, and we'll grow us some ornamental peppers out in the garden, or out in the flower bed rather. So yeah, it looks good though. So, and this was an old break, but it's still growing, so I'm just gonna let it grow. See, it's got nice little peppers there. I'm just letting it grow. It's hanging on by a thread, so we'll just let it do its thing. Take you over here and show you some pumpkins that we got real quick. Went out, tried to sell the pumpkin today from yesterday's way off. No luck as of yet, but we're getting there. We're getting there. So bought this odd shaped looking thing. Thought it was pretty neat looking, some kind of like star or something or another, I don't know. Anyways, cool looking little squash, or gourd, whatever. We got these gourds down here. And we got these little jack belittles right here. Man, things are tiny, y'all. Kind of little. This is the tiniest one, I think. Which one's tinier? I don't know. They're both pretty. I think that might be thinner than that one. I don't know. Pretty close to the same size. Anyhow, and that one right there is kind of a bigger one, or it might not even be the same type. So, anyways, thought these were cool. We got these. I want to grow these next year. So, I want to grow them next year really bad. I'd seen them on a post this week, and I thought, man, they're really cool. So, got those. We got that dark colored pumpkin. It's really cool. It's a cool looking pumpkin. Somehow it turned orange right there, but the rest of them were all really dark all the way around. So I don't think it's going to turn orange. I think it probably starts orange, then turns this color. So anyhow, it's a pretty little pumpkin. I'd like to grow that next year. Then we got these. These are all the same. Some kind of a gourd. It's pretty neat looking though. Flat bottoms. You just turn them upside down, blossom end up. And then, let's see here. That is a gourd. I don't know what it is, but it reminded me of a snapping turtle's back. Yeah, like snapping turtles are. So those of you who are outdoors people, you can see the stuff, the relation to it. So anyhow, we got it, and I'd save the seeds out of that and grow that as well next year, hopefully, if everything goes good, right? That's the hope. So anyhow, those are little things that we added in here to our little patch that we have. Hoping to move that pumpkin out of here, those pumpkins out, and that pumpkin out. We're gonna keep one big one, right? But not all of them up here. So yeah, we'll get it. Now that one back there, I'm gonna sell hopefully tomorrow morning. I got a person that it's actually a store that's looking at buying it. So I'm hoping tomorrow morning we'll have it sold and we'll take it out there. If so, it'll be out Grandview. That's where that one's hopefully his new home destination is. Although I do have a for sale sign on the back of it. There is a for sale sign. The tailgate's down. There's a for sale sign in the back, and we'll see if anybody stops by and wants to buy it. You know, so whoever's got the money up front first, right? But that one, yeah, it's a pretty penny. Let's just put it that way. Anyhow, couldn't figure out. Nobody's answered. We were going to try to take it over to Dad's and unload it over there at my dad's house, but nobody's answered us, you know, as to whether or not they could unload it over there, or if they've got any means to you know, forklift or whatever. I was going to pay them to unload it over there, but nobody yet. So anyhow, these are both for sale. So I'll try to move the smaller ones here, you know, locally to some people that might want them. Plus they got seeds inside of them, so if I can let them go for a little cheaper so I can get the seeds back, I'm happy, you know what I mean? But you know, if I can't get what I want out of them, then we'll most certainly either keep them here at the house, or we'll have to you know, do what I don't want to do, which is sell them down there and not get the seeds out of them. Because there, like I say, there are some I want to keep seeds out of. So not all of them, just some of them. Hey, knock that off. Thank you. So anyhow, all right, well, I'm gonna take the side-by-side back here and try to lift this pumpkin up, I think, or do something. I gotta figure out something. Let's go back here and look at it. All right, guys, let's see what we can do back here. If y'all remember, yesterday, I was talking about this pumpkin sitting on its stem and needing moved, and it needs moved badly, because what'll end up happening is it'll cause some bad stuff to occur. So I'm trying to figure out what to do here. I'm almost tempted to put something small right here and just take a bottle jack and bottle jack it up, but I don't know if that's a good idea or not. Thought about even taking the regular old floor jack up underneath it there and trying to jack it up, but I'm not sure that those are either of those things are a good idea. So may have to don't really have a good idea for this. Let me look around the yard, see what I got to put under here. All right, guys, here's underneath this pumpkin, solid as a rock. Look at that. You don't see it up underneath there? But if you notice, she's curved. See how she's curved underneath there? Where she was growing with the shape of the ground at first. So she's got a little bit of a dent. There we go. There we go, you can see it good there. She's got a little bit of a dent in the center of her where she grew with the dirt. She's dry as a bone and thick, man. She looks good. Looks real good. I'm gonna try to get all that there cleaned out from underneath it there. And stuff. What is that right there? Is those snails or what? Let me zoom in there if I can. Zoom in. Let's see, make sure ain't no bad spider gonna bite me. Can't tell if it's snails or anything. I get them off of there. So, but if it's a spider, I'll just leave it. Anyhow, there's a snail right there. I gotta get off. All right, guys, we'll get this fixed up here. I'll lower her back down. Guys, let's go up here and plant the rhubarb, and then tomorrow I'm going to have to replant the stuff because I believe it got burnt up in the greenhouse. Some of it's still coming up, but some of it that was coming up is no longer coming up. I'm going to run a metal detector through here first and make sure there's nothing in the ground that's of any of importance. Then we're going to take and bury our rhubarb there, or plant the rhubarb there, and then yeah, it'll start growing better next year. Rhubarb is a very long process. You have to be patient, but you also get a lot of rewards for your patience. So you plant it now, you might be able to harvest a little bit next year from it, but then the following years after, you'll just be able to harvest more and more and more. It's very hard to find real rhubarb. If you let it go to seed, that's it. The whole plant will die. But if you continue to just cut the seed tops out every year, the plant will continue to get bigger and have more production the following year. So if you want a lot of rhubarb, and like rhubarb and strawberry jam or rhubarb strawberry pies, stuff like that, you don't never let it go to seed, because if you do, you got to start all over from step one, and it would take 2 to 3 years to get you back to where you were whenever you were having large production. So anyhow, we're going to do some metal detecting, see if we can find something, and then plant the rhubarb. Guys, we got them planted. That one there is looking pretty poorly right there. Got that one planted. What I'll do is I'll pile some straw up around them, and that center block and stuff, that'll keep them warm through the wintertime and everything. We should be good to go. Not that you got to plant them right up against the building, but in the early springtime, that concrete stuff's going to get real good and warm and keep heat, which will radiate down into the roots that are planted right there beside them, which will encourage early growth and stimulate them to come up early. So that'll be good, because they're highly resistant to cold weather and stuff. So good to go. Also good for the grapevine there. And then what I'll do is I'll just build a grape arbor up and over and down. These can fill in underneath, and then the grape arbor will fill all this in, and that'll be that. So anyhow, gotta go back here and cover my pumpkins up, and then pick up all my tools and things. I watered everything. Whoops. I watered everything real good this evening, except for the pumpkins. Left them alone. Probably what will end up happening tomorrow is we will rip the bushel gourd plant out. This late in the season, it's getting cool quickly. You know, there's no way that I'm going to be able to attain the record this year. So, best thing to do is go on ahead, rip the plant out, okay, and then save whatever nutrients are left in the soil. Just let them be, and that way whenever I get a soil test or whatever, it's not completely depleted, because there's no sense in letting this continue to grow if it's not going to produce anything. It does look relatively nice though, but we'll just yank it out probably tomorrow and get it cleaned up and get it cleared out. Which will end up leading to me being able to drag blowhole out of here. So hopefully this week I'll drag blowhole out and take this plant and get it cleared out as well, and put away. Then we'll leave all this plant left feeding Elsa, which is doing wonderful. Then you have oh goodness, what did Jaden name that one? Holy cow. I want y'all to look over. That's 4 of them right there, and then behind the tree I seen the 5th and the 6th, but you can't pick it up on the camera. There's 4 of them right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, and then behind the trees there's 5 and 6. Well, good thing I didn't go hunting this evening, because they was not in the woods. They was up there playing around. So anyhow, not that that's all that's here, because there's tons of deer. Anyhow, what does Jaden call that one? Split or slit or something. I don't know. Anyhow, blowhole, Elsa, Piper down there on the end that we moved today and get the kink out of a vine. And I don't know what that was, split or slit or something. I can't remember its name. Jaden will tell me. Anyways, those 2 right there, I'd like to take to the last weigh-offs. They're beautiful. They're orange, very, very orange, very, very pretty. Been leaving the covers off in the daytime, just getting them brighter, hopefully. Put the covers back on at night, keep them warm. So yeah, clear this plant out tomorrow, hopefully, get it cleaned up. Take blowhole out up front. Leave this plant for Elsa to grow on, leave the plant for that one to grow on, and the plant for that one to grow on. Oh yeah, I didn't show y'all while we're talking about it. It's just so sad, ain't it? Is it not sad that September is here already? I mean, I can remember June and July seemed like they was just yesterday that I was pollinating these pumpkins and growing them. I mean, it does not seem like it's been that long that I've been growing these things. It's sad. It's heartbreaking. Anyways, this one got her all set up here. Don't know if y'all have seen how we set her up. She comes off of Piper, or off of split end, or whatever that one's called. Comes off of that one, and anyhow, she's grown really good. 2 weeks ago she was tiny. Got a very, very little stem. Okay, this is a 1378 new. She's very, very wheel shaped. I like the shape. I do. It's crazy cool. I like it, and just gonna grow it and see how big she'll get till the end of the year. I'm gonna cover her up tonight as well and stuff, because I don't want her getting cold. All right, so we'll cover her up and see how I got her. There's plenty of stuff on her stem and on her body, so she's not getting roughed up by the center block any at all. And she continues to grow. I'll continue to put stuff there, I guess. We'll just see how big she gets. Probably her bottom, what'll happen now is her bottom will kick out. I would say the bottom will kick out the support, and then she'll start growing tall and wide. So I don't know. We'll see. Needed to take that block down. Didn't get it done today. Probably got that other pumpkin, like I said, sold tomorrow. So we'll see. Probably take it and get it unloaded off the truck tomorrow. That way I can load up one of these beauties here. So, and I still got to till and put my plants in up here. So there's lots to be done. So we'll get it done tomorrow, or Tuesday, or whatever. So, and I think I'm supposed to go fishing tomorrow too, early in the morning with a buddy of mine. So I don't know. We'll see. Anyhow, we appreciate you watching. We'll see you tomorrow right here in the Hollers and Hills of West Virginia.
Don't forget to smash that like button. Hit that notification bell. Don't forget to share.
Thank you, good sir.
You're welcome. And subscribe.